Hello, everyone. I am your host, H.O.211, and welcome back to the podcast with your AEW Rampage review for February 4th, 2022. Be a short but in-depth review, uh, reviewing all that happened on Rampage last night. Solid edition of Rampage. Uh, got two title matches on the show, although one isn't really a title for AEW, but still was a solid addition. Um, but let's get into it, shall we? So first we had Adam Cole versus Evil Uno. This was a glorified squash match between two. Um, I kind of was hoping there'd be more time given this match, considering how both can go. But Adam Cole is still undefeated. Yes, he's still undefeated. Beat Evil Uno here with the boom to the back of the head, and Cole was declared the victor. Afterwards, he brought up all his victims whom he's beaten here in AEW. He brings up how he's been lacking respect from everybody in the locker room, hence everyone in the outside world who have not given Cole his due respect, being one of the best, not only in AEW, but best pro wrestlers in the entire world. Talks about how he's won championships in every organization. That one way or another, Adam Cole always runs the place. So then he called his shot, regardless of who is the AEW World Champion. He will be the AEW World Champion. So, calling his shot here, Adam Cole wants the AEW World title, and which is likely going to be Hangman Adam Page after the Texas Death Match with Lance Archer. But Hangman Adam Page for Adam Cole would be a fun ideal. And at Revolution, potentially could be the return, like I said, or like I've mentioned in the past on my Dynamite review, could be the return of one Kenny Omega. Should be interesting. So then we got the first. Well, actually, we got Jade Cargill first, but when Mark Sterling talked about how she'll be 26-0, 27-0, talked about how she's green, hint, hint, but she had like money. Not the type of green, really, that she is, but whatever. So then we got Sammy Guevara versus Isiah Cassidy for the TNT Championship. Okay showing by both men. Open challenge. I'm confused on where they're going with this Andrade and Private Party, where both sides lie in the Hardy family office. But I don't know. We could be looking at Well, I'll mention after match, but so Guevara's ribs were taped up, uh, and that was the focal point of Cassidy throughout the match. And well, Guevara was up top. We heard Andrade's theme music, and he distracted Guevara to no avail, though. But anywho, Cassidy hit 2 backstabbers for a near fall. He had a suicide on the outside, followed with a senton in the middle of the ring for a near fall as well. But then Sammy followed up with the offense. At the end, Tope, springboard cutter, followed with the GTH for the win. Guevara retains. Afterwards, it looked like Chris Jericho was about to get off commentary to rescue his fellow Inner Circle comrade in Sammy Guevara, but Darby Allin came out and, Andrade looked like it was expecting Darby Allin saying perhaps, oh, he signed with us. Not the case. Darby signed with Guevara, and Hardy Family Office and Andrade backed away. And Darby Allin, who of course is a former TNT champion, looked at the belts of Guevara and he just patted them down, basically giving a sign of respect. So there was that. Chris Statlander, who is always good to see, and this feud with Layla Hirsch, it's okay, but hasn't really gotten much traction. She was being interviewed by Tony Schiavone, but was ambushed backstage by a chair assault by Layla Hirsch, chair to the back, and then the Shining Wizard with the chair to Chris Statlander's face, and Red Velvet came in for the save to check on Chris Statlander. There's that. All these three intertwined in this storyline that is just, I don't know. But we'll see. Go from one women's storyline to another. We Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez. I was nervous about this match simply because Thunder Rosa cannot lose anymore as we try to get her to Britt Baker, and Mercedes Martinez is her first match on AEW television, and she has to have a solid showing in her debut, which she did, and what we got afterwards kind of brings itself a little in full circle. It makes more sense. So, fast start by Thunder Rosa, obviously pissed after was escalated the last few weeks. Then a spinebuster by Mercedes for near fall. Going to break. They were up on the top rope, and Mercedes hit an avalanche Death Valley driver for near fall. Rosa hit beautiful suplex into a power slam. Then they were fighting on the outside, and Mercedes got a pipe from underneath the ring. She blasted Rosa over the head with it, and there was that. So Rosa gets the victory, disqualification, which we don't see a lot in AEW. But Rosa gets victory, and Mercedes stands tall. So it goes hand in hand. Afterwards, for those complaining about the women for AEW, I bet online, I hope that this allows them to stop because we had 4 women's segments on the show. 4. So afterwards, Mercedes Martinez spoke with Tony Schiavone after backstage, and she was confronted by Brett Baker's group saying, "Careful, I brought you in to take out Thunder Rosa." And then Jamie Hayter was a little perplexed, and then Brett Baker followed, "Well, someone hasn't been getting the job done." So she brought in Mercedes, and she told Mercedes, "No more losing, and better finish Rosa, otherwise your time in AEW will be quicker than your last job." And Hair got in the face of Mercedes, and there was that. So we know why Mercedes Martinez is in AEW. Main event. This was very good. Between Starks and Jay Lethal, 2 guys that can very much go in the ring. Starks just looks like a star. He just looks like a star. And I believe he's in his 30s, but nonetheless, he can very much be a big traction as to where this company goes forward. Jay Lethal, great in the ring, great worker for over the last decade, and so, of course, I got wind of him. His earlier days in TNA, when TNA was a lot better. But yeah, seeing where he is now and still one of the best competitors in the world, this made for a solid showing. So after a stalemate in the ring, Starks was getting frustrated, slapped Lethal in the face, but Starks was knocked to the outside. Lethal his Suicida. Then back in the ring, Starks was on his heels. Lethal landed a series of pinfalls. Then hit the Lethal combination for a near fall. Starks hit beautiful, almost dropped him, but hit beautiful sell powerbomb on Lethal for near fall. Powerhouse Hobbs, who was at ringside, he got on the ring apron, not in his fur coat, but got on the ring apron, knocked off by Lethal. Lethal went for a Suicida, but looked like he cut it short. Hobbs countered and slammed him to the ground. Dante Martin, who appeared out of nowhere, launched himself onto Powerhouse Hobbs, took him out for the ring match, so it's just down to Lethal and Source. And they were going back and forth. Lethal kept trying to go for the lethal injection, but Starks had scouted. And finally, and one swift and great motion, Ricky Starks counters the lethal injection, the cutter, in midair, and plants Lethal with a Rochambeau. Beautiful stuff. 1, 2, 3. And Starks retains in a solid show over Jay Lethal. And that was a solid way to end Rampage. That counter into the Rochambeau, calm in midair. That just surprised me. That surprised me. That was great. That was great. So Starks retains, stays the FTW champion. There's that. But yeah, that's the episode of Rampage for you guys. But nonetheless, that's the episode for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a short episode, but if you did, click that like button. Also, click that subscribe. Want to see more videos on the channel? You can find those on the homepage. I'll be back Thursday for AEW Dynamite, as well as next Saturday for AEW Rampage. But thank you all. Be safe. Peace.